How's it going, you spicy young individuals? Welcome to a new episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Travis Lang, and apparently I've been doing so poorly on this show that now I have police supervision with me. I have Gabby Mitchum. She's part of the IU East women's soccer team here at IU East. And Gabby, it's been a while since you've been on the show, so just really quickly, remind me what grade level you are and where you're from.
I am a junior, and I'm from Franklin County, so Brookville, Indiana.
I live just about 15 minutes north. So if you live south, that makes a little bit more sense, but I know a lot of people don't really know where Brookville is.
They usually know about the lake, but that's about it.
And see, that's the biggest lure, I think.
Yeah, it
honestly.
is. Yeah.
But it's great because we have so much to talk about. Your entire career at IU East has been a roller coaster of ups and downs.
It has. That's for sure.
And so we'll just start first with your first ever time playing for IU East. You actually got injured your first season, and you completely missed it. So first of all, what was the injury, and what did it take you to get back into playing?
So the day before our first home game, I broke my ankle, and I was taken to the hospital, and I had surgery the same day. And I remember staying overnight. My teammates were great. They came and visited me. But I was so adamant. I was like, you know what? I'm not missing the game the next day. So when they discharged me, I made my dad take me to the game, and I went and watched the game the next day. But
so you left the hospital and just went and watched the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On crutches or?
Yep, I sat in the back of the SUV. So I called Shane and was like, hey, I really want to come. He's like, okay, we'll get an SUV there.
And so from then, you were able to rehab it. How long did it take to rehab that?
I had surgery August, and I was cleared in December, so before Christmas. So roughly 3 or 4 months, I think, if that's right.
I think so. I'm terrible at math,
yeah.
so don't ask me, but that sounds...
About 10 weeks, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
But then you got back into playing,
Mm-hmm.
but what was so weird about 2019 was that you were originally a fielder, but you got moved to goalkeeper. So how...
So actually, most people don't know, but I spent majority of my soccer career as a goalkeeper. When I moved high schools, there was already a keeper there, and my new high school coach didn't think that we needed another keeper, so he was like, you're playing field, and I did, and then came to IU East, and the rest is history. Shane found out and was like, let's try it, and I was like, okay.
And what's that transition like in between playing in the field and playing as a goaltender? I know you mentioned that you've had experience in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but what's that transition like?
It wasn't hard for me, just because I had played keeper for so long, but it had been 3 or 4 years since I had played, so I think adjusting back to being a goalkeeper was the hardest part, just because, these girls have been practicing to be a keeper nonstop for this many years, and I took a 4-year break off, so it was just a lot of getting your mindset right. Like, okay, if coaches can see the ability that I have, then I know that I can do what they see in me. So. And
it worked out because 2019,
it did work out,
2019 was an amazing season for the women's soccer team. I got to broadcast a couple of the games, especially in the postseason. But what was that experience like going through the postseason as, well, quote unquote, a new goalie?
It was nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time. Coming in and then, earning a spot as a starting keeper, it's nerve-wracking, and confidence levels are up and down, and I had great teammates that were very supportive of it, which made it a lot easier for me to believe in myself, and it was crazy. It was very exciting, though. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. People ask me all the time if I would ever go back to being a field player, and it's I love being a goalkeeper, so I think it'd be really hard if I switched back, and I don't think that I would want to.
Well, and you keep up that excitement because now, almost a year later, we're looking at another postseason run, essentially. I know COVID has pretty much screwed everything up because we shouldn't be playing in the spring, honestly.
It's been crazy. It's been almost an entire year we've been playing, We took a few months off around Christmas, and right back into it we are again, so it's been crazy.
So with that, what are your thoughts on this upcoming postseason?
I think the girls are ready. We're excited, and we've battled a lot. We've started off in a pandemic, which never thought that would happen, but here we are. The team has had a roller coaster ride itself. We went through 3 quarantines. One of our teammates, her dad passed away, so we we helped her grieve with that, and then we find out that our conference, we couldn't finish out the conference in the fall, that we'd be picking it up in the spring. So we took a time off, and then we come back in the spring, and we get ready, and then it's just, it's exciting. We've had a lot of injuries, and we finally got everybody back, and so we're excited. The postseason's gonna be strong. It's gonna be fun to watch, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, that's one thing I wondered too as I was broadcasting throughout the year. Those injuries were really a big issue.
Yeah.
Throughout especially the spring season.
They were. They developed a little bit in the fall, nothing too major. We started off really strong. We finished in the fall 5-1, and then coming into the spring, looking to pick up where we are. And like you said, we don't usually play in the spring. It's normally our off season. We have a couple games maybe here and there, but we're not playing full like we are right now. And so injuries kind of caught us off guard, and we've battled through them as a team, and yeah, so.
And that's the biggest phrase, as a team.
As a team, we've definitely had it. We've come together as a team. There was a period of time where Shane had some family emergencies, and he had to step away for a couple games, and our assistant coach stepped up and did a great job coaching us. And like you said, as a team, we came together and we got the wins for IU East, and so we're just looking forward to playing the tournament and winning. So.
Is it weird being an upperclassman on a team like this?
Yeah, it is. It's weird because I don't know that I view myself as an upperclassman because it's only my second season as a goalkeeper and playing. So, I mean, academically I am, but athletically I still see myself as like an underclassman. But yeah.
But do you see yourself as a leader too on this team?
I definitely do. I feel like, especially since becoming a goalkeeper, and teammates are like, you're in a leadership position. I definitely do, and I take it very seriously. I want to do what I can to help the incoming freshmen or the transfers or whatever I can do to better the team. And so it's been great to talk with the girls and play with them. So.
And honestly, you've been a hard worker. I've heard. I mean, I've also seen it too, but I've heard that it's been. I can't believe how many jobs you do or that you've done here on campus. Because Kyle was actually telling me a long time ago. Well, a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago with COVID, but there was a Saturday during a women's scrimmage where he went to go get a donut. It was like 7 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the counter and he sees you there working before your scrimmage, like hours before your scrimmage. And he asks you, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm going to work a few hours and then I'm going to go play my scrimmage. It's like, how in the world do you go from working really early in the morning at a donut shop and then go and play a game?
I'm always someone that likes to prepare. So we have a game tomorrow, right? And I'll start preparing like a couple days in advance to get my head in the right area, in the right space and stuff. And so same goes with that. No matter if it's a scrimmage, a regular season game, a conference game, a tournament game, I take them all very seriously. So I was just like, I got my head in the right space, I can go relax for a few hours at work and then come back and get ready for the game again. But yeah.
I'm curious though, how do you get your head in that right space to block out the stress and the multiple jobs? How do you focus?
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't know that I have an answer for that. I just, it can be very stressful at times, but I just kind of, take a deep breath, and I know that as long as I go into a game or practice prepared, and I give it my all, then that's the best that I can do. And sometimes we don't end up with the result that we want, and sometimes we do. Either way, I know that if I played the game or even gone to practice with the right mindset, then I can be happy and walk away knowing that I did my best. And that's what I tell myself before every game. No matter what happens, as long as you give it your all, you're going to be okay. And it helps lower the stress levels, but, they're still there, but it definitely helps lower them. So.
Deep breath.
Deep breath.
Focus.
Yes.
And just calm down.
Yes. Chewing gum. That's
actually, yeah.
I have to have a piece of gum before every game. It calms my nerves. I don't know what it is. It's just my superstition. Remember last year, the conference championship, the tournament, I was like, Shane, I lost my gum. I left it in the school. He was like, okay. He called his wife, and I think one of our teammates and her went and got a pack of gum and gave me some chewing gum, and it helped calm my nerves before the game. So that's something that really helps me just calm down.
Okay, I should have brought gum, I guess, today. Maybe that would have helped.
Yeah, maybe.
But another thing that you do, so obviously you don't work at the donut shop anymore.
Right.
But you are a police cadet on the campus of IU East. And I know it's a strenuous process. It's also extremely exclusive because they only allow 2 cadets per year, I think.
Yes.
When I interviewed Johnny Fike a while back, he was telling sort of the same story. You know, it's hard to get in. How did you end up working as a cadet for IU East?
So I heard about the cadet program when I first came here. And believe it or not, I was a nursing major when I first came. And I was like, no, I want to do policing. My family's all been in law enforcement, and I was like, I want to do policing, so I switched my major. And I had heard about the cadet program, and I was like, oh, that's something I really want to do. It'll help me jumpstart my law enforcement career. And so I did as much research as I could on it. And your sophomore year, you apply. There's an application process, and they read through your application process, and they'll give you a phone call, and they'll ask you if you're still interested. If you are, they'll set up an interview with you. And so I got my phone call. I believe there was in between 10 and 13 individuals at my time that had applied for it. And I got my phone call, and I remember having my interview and thinking that my interview went really well. I felt confident about it, and then COVID hit. And I was a nervous wreck because I was supposed to, or usually you're supposed to find out relatively quickly within, I think, a month of your interview before school ends. Well, COVID hit, and as you know, we all went online the last month of school, and there was like a hiring freeze, and so the school didn't know if they were going to hire another cadet or not, and then I would never found out. You're supposed to get a letter if you're not accepted. You're supposed to get a phone call if you were accepted. So I was like, man, we're in June, July. I don't know what's going on. I'm still wondering if did I not get my letter, or did I miss a phone call? Like, what's going on? And then I believe I got the phone call, or I was on campus one day. It was August. I think school had just started back up. And that's when they told me that I had been selected as the cadet. And boy, was that a sigh of relief, because months of stressing over it, and yeah, COVID really threw a wrench in plans, but I'm happy, and I love what we do. So.
And it's funny that you mentioned that you switched majors. Are you still in that field right now trying to study?
In criminal justice?
Yeah.
Yes, so I am a double major in criminal justice and psychology. I have a minor in political science, and then a certificate in drug and alcohol abuse counseling. So yeah, once I switched, I knew that I wanted to do as much as I could with law enforcement. It's just something I've grown up around my whole life, and I really am passionate about it. So I wanted to make sure that while I was here, I could get as many tools to further my career as possible. And so yeah, and believe it or not, I'm only at 12 credit hours a semester with all that.
I'm jealous. I'm completely jealous.
High school set me up really well. I came in with 38 dual credits, so it really helped me advance my college education.
Hardworking in high school and in college too.
Yeah.
So my final question for you before I let you go is, what advice do you have for students in high school or maybe even in college that are looking to play at this college level of soccer? I mean, how do you switch your mindset? How do you get ready for that? How do you balance everything? Just, do you have any advice on that?
Oh yeah. So believe it or not, I almost didn't play college soccer. It was, I think, beginning of August, or end of July, when I was like, finally decided, okay, you know what, this is something I want to do, and heard about IU East, got in contact with Shane. You know, the rest is history. But I would say, just be confident in yourself with your abilities. You know, if other people are seeing what you're capable of, then believe them and follow your dreams, because, you know, it'll lead to great places. So, and definitely work hard. It's not as scary as it seems. Sometimes high school might make it seem like college is difficult or hard, and as long as, you know, you get your priorities straight and are good with time management, you'll do okay. And being a student athlete has been fun. So.
And that is your motivation for the day. Thank you so much, Gabby, for coming on the show.
Me.
Good luck with the upcoming postseason. Also, good luck with all of the other school stuff, all the other activities you're involved with. I know I mentioned the cadet program, but of course your academics, FCA you're also part of. I've also heard you're an equestrian, but we didn't even get to ask about that. So, so many stuff. But thank you so much, Gabby, once again, for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.